a new episode of WEARE757, the show. We got Coach Barry and Coach Mac in the building. How y'all doing?
I'm good, boss. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing, Matt?
Good, man. Good. Glad to still be here.
How's coronavirus been treating y'all so far?
I'm in the house. You know, my 9 to 5. I've been working from home since the second week in March. So I've been in the crib since then, and you know, just doing a lot of stuff with the family and doing stuff in the house and rebuilding stuff in the crib. Just a whole lot of time like that to kind of sit back with the fam, because I'm normally on the road a lot right now. So that's the only good positive thing out of it.
How about you, Matt?
Me, I'm still going to work every day, Tuesday through Friday. And on the weekend, I'm in the house all day, ordering DoorDash.
Same.
How
did it affect the AAU season this year for y'all? Because I know a lot of y'all kids probably would have had a big year this season.
Well, right now, you know, with everything is on hold, is on pause pretty much. We're trying to figure it out, getting some intel from Nike. Like, we have calls probably every week. And then they're going to kind of try to follow the NBA route. You know how the NBA is doing too, where it's in works that they're going to do Orlando and Vegas. So Nike is probably going to try to do something like that. And it's probably going to be the same, call it no fans. And it's been really weird because we definitely want to be on the floor, try to get these guys in front of these schools. And then a lot of stuff is going to, you know, depends on what the NCAA does too, if they're going to let the college coaches come back out. So it slowed us down a whole lot.
How's it start the recruiting for you, Matt?
With the Brian and Stratton, man, not being able to have no visits, that really hurt. I had a few kids that wanted to come up to see the campus and all that. They weren't able to do it. And then a lot of the local guys, you know, they don't want to come to Brian Stratton for real. So
why is that? I seen y'all had a few kids go to D1 colleges after a 2-year run at Brian Stratton.
I mean, a lot of kids be wanting to get away from home for school, you know, so I get it.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. They want to go on field trips. They want to go on a field trip. That's what I call it. They want to go on a field trip. I don't think the kids do their research properly for real, Day, because Coach Cliff is well connected, you know what I mean? And he got 2 kids that's doing it, you know what I'm saying, that's playing Division I basketball, and he's a good coach in my opinion too. And like I said, I think he's well connected in the coaching realm. So I don't think the kids do their research to know that they're turning out a good opportunity. And they give scholarships out there. I don't know if people know that.
Yeah, I always tell kids to take the JUCO route instead of the D3 route. I'm not a big fan of D3. I went D3 basketball. I don't like paying for school. You know, I'm still paying for it right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
JUCO is definitely, especially to see if you're a student, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Handle it.
Because when I was young, I probably should have did that myself. Like, not even from a sports perspective, just went to community college before I went to Hampton, before I went out there and messed up money and stuff like that. To make sure you want to do it, to make sure you want to go to college and do it, and be prepared for it.
We get a lot of those kids that go to 4-year schools and end up coming back because of the grades and stuff. So they still got to sit out a year, and then they'll play the following year. But we give them a chance to get their grades together first.
True. So how did y'all end up working under the Boo organization?
For me, it started with coaching at Kickerton High School underneath Ivan Thomas. And he was one of Boo's right-hand men, so he brought me in underneath that. And I've just been there ever since. Even once he moved on, I still stayed around. And I've always been Barry's assistant with Hampton Warriors back in the day. So.
Okay.
Yeah, like with myself, it's kind of like I'm from Hampton. I'm from Hampton, born and raised right there in Hampton. So when I grew up playing in the org, I'm a '90s kid. So I grew up playing in the '90s in the organization back when Boo was a lot younger. His brother was involved with the org back then. Was one of the coaches back then. And then I went off to school and then ran around a little bit, had some fun, and then I got back in the mix. God bless the dead, Butch Harper, one of the 4 founders of AAU basketball. in this area, period. A lot of people might not know that, but he's from Hampton. He was highly involved with the Allen Iverson stuff and all that back in the day with Boo getting everything started. Him and one of my other friends that they got me back into coaching. Marquise Godwin's father, they reached out one time and they was like, come on out to the gym and just see what it is. So I went out. It was the Hampton Hoyas. Then I got involved with the Hampton Hoyas. You know, the next year I brought Mac with me because the first year with the Hoyas, I was getting beat a lot, getting my head bashed in. And I realized, oh, you got to recruit in this joint. You got to recruit in this thing. So I got some kids. We got some kids from Norfolk. Coach CJ from Norfolk State helped me get like 2 Norfolk kids. And then we had my nephew, another kid named Damian Nolan, and my other Jacob Morello. They played at Kecoughtan with us. So they was like our big 3. And then we started winning on the big shot circuit, big shot VCU, big shot DC. And then it just kept rolling. And then, so Boo looked at that, was like, we're doing pretty good with a non-sponsor program, with a non-sponsor team, like a feeder. Yeah. So a couple of years later, I started coaching at Kecoughtan with Mac and them too. I started coaching JV though. But he came to me, him and Coach Chiz came to me and wanted me to coach a 10th grade team, like a second team or whatever. And I was like, oh, yeah, I definitely do that. Then me and Mac started coaching the second 10th grade team. And then, like I said, I've been there from then. Since then, it's been a while now. It's been since I've been in the coaching mix. It's been a long time now.
Yeah. How do y'all choose what kids go on your team? Because I know the comment I made in our last. I said, what did I say? They don't really mess with this side of the water.
Man. We can't have Day. Come on, yo. You one of the biggest like media outlets in the area. I'm not the
biggest nothing, man. I'm
what?
I'm local, man. But
okay.
I guess I don't I'm not gonna say see the power we have, but I understand it. But you know, that's just from my point of view. It's not
I get
a statement from everybody on this side.
No, the thing is, it's not just you though. I hear from people on that side, and I hear from people on this side.
Okay.
People on this side say we don't mess with kids on this side, and I'm like, that's not true.
Okay.
Word.
So how do y'all choose?
Well, you know, with us, we recruit and we go out to the games. We're very visible in the city or whatever. So we just kind of like, we try to evaluate the talent in the area to see that we think that can play on that level of because playing EYBL we think is almost playing like college basketball. It's like real the next step to playing Division I basketball. So we go out and we recruit the guys and we evaluate the talent. And then you also know coming with the EYBL team, you recruiting. So you kind of looking for the best of the best. So I get in the area. I'm at the local games. I'm telling guys to come out to workouts, trials, whatever we have going on. And then we evaluate it from there. And then we take the top guys, like whether you're a Southside kid, Peninsula kid, a Richmond kid, a DC kid, Maryland, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you touch the state of Virginia, like we can touch you, we can reach out to you. If your family is from, I don't know, a lot of people don't know the rules. Like you can have a son. I think you're from New York, right, Dede?
Yeah.
So if you have family in New York and you're still based out of New York City, you can have your kid play in a New York program.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You could go to school. You may send your kid to go to school in Georgia. Your kid now your kid can play for all the schools, all the AAU programs in Georgia and all the programs that touch the state of Georgia, plus come back and play in Virginia if you want to. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy.
Yeah, I always wondered that because I was like, how y'all get Zion like that? Like that comes out of nowhere. But how does his ties in Virginia?
DC. He's a Maryland kid, PG County kid. I want to say, don't quote me at that 100%, but I think Zion is from PG County too. To be honest with you, and so Zion was in the mix early. He played EYBL in the 7th grade, so we kind of seen him. And then for real, one of my guys in DC, they had a program called Glory. I remember when Zion played with them back when they was little. So Mac met Zion probably 5th, 6th grade, didn't you?
5th grade at John Lucas camp. I was working the camp and he was in there as a 5th grader.
Giving work.
Man, it was crazy. The cat was already shooting from the volleyball line in 5th grade, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's talk about Cam Thomas, because he's probably one of the biggest names in the area right now.
Definitely.
Left Oscar Smith, obviously. I'm sure there were reasons. Took off a season. Played AAU and was snubbed in a McDonald's game. How y'all feel about that, man?
Well, the path that Cam took, right? That was that's a different path, and I don't, it's not something that's recommended. Like, he wanted to play that year. It was some things that we were trying to get in the motion at a couple of other schools, once he found out he wasn't going to play at Oscar Smith. So we did try to get him in the mix with some other schools. The things just ain't pan out. So he didn't play that year. But he worked hard. Like, he worked out every single day. Like, he did his schoolwork, and then he was at the sportsplex working out, him and his mother, every single day. Like, every day. 1,000 shots, 1,000 makes, not just shots. They in the gym getting to it. So, with Cam with the McDonald's stuff, it was kind of weird that he didn't make it because, the way they praise our league, the EYBL league, you would have thought he made it because he put a lot of work in that league in 3 years. So I would have thought he made it. It was kind of weird. Oak Hill is a storied program, all-time leading scorer at Oak Hill. Steve Smith has had over 30 McDonald's All-American, and he said Cam was probably his best bucket getter. You know what I mean? He could have been in his feelings, but I believe he believes that. Like, when we took Cam up there to work out for him, he couldn't believe how hard he worked, how he didn't miss in workouts. You know what I'm saying? He didn't miss a shot in the workout at Oak Hill. And it wasn't even supposed to be a workout. We were just going to visit, but he just saw a ball and we was in the gym. He just started working out in full-fledged sweatsuit, and he didn't miss a shot while we were talking, and he just worked hard. So it's not a traditional route, the route that he went. It just worked out for him. You know what I mean? Because I think he just puts a lot of work in.
How'd you feel about when you first seen him at Cam?
First time I saw Cam, he was in 8th grade playing with Donald Hand. Yeah, and you could tell he could score the ball with the best of them. Like, he was putting up 30, 40-point games in 8th grade. Playing playing against the best of the best. Because they were
Three quarters.
Like the EYBL, I guess you'd call it, for middle school back then. And he was putting up numbers against the best. And, I mean, it just continued on as the years went on.
I know on Welsh had a live recently, and they was talking about who's the best scorer. Is Cam the best scorer to ever come out of 757?
Ever? I mean, me, I'm a 90s kid. Like, I'm going to go with – everybody going to know who my answer is. If you know me, I'm going with Bubba Chuck, baby, Allen Iverson. You know what I'm saying? So anything about basketball around this area for me is going to be – I grew up in that era, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of my guys. So, but besides that, though, Cam, when we start mentioning scoring the ball and putting the ball in the basket, he's definitely one of the top kids ever from out here. Like, from out here to just the 757, no question, without a doubt, to me. I think he's one of the best in the state, period. But if we just narrowed it down to our town, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
How about what do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm going with Iverson as well.
I mean, he's an NBA Hall of Famer, so it's hard to put somebody in front of him and what he did in the league. But Cam, in this area, he's probably one of the best scorers I've seen put it in the cup. You know what I'm saying? As a high school kid, footwork, putting it in the bucket, doing all that he do. It ain't that many that did that. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot of guys that can get busy out here. I ain't going to take that away from the town at all. I just think that the way he scores it, and people think he's a volume shooter. I mean, he might be, but he's making a high percentage of them, though. Who else you want to shoot? You know what I'm saying? If he's making them. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I don't see the problem with that.
It's crazy because even when he was, like, playing with Cole Anthony, he was still putting up his numbers, but all they talked about was Cole Anthony.
Word.
Like,
Word. Word.
That was crazy.
He was the go-to guy out there on that team with Cole, Anthony, and Big Kofi. Cam was the go-to, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? Cole got a big name, and Cole is my guy. Like, I met Cole more personally when Cam went to Oak Hill. I got to interact with him a little bit at a couple of games, and when I went to Oak Hill a couple of times. He's a real cool, down-to-earth kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been in the limelight and in the spotlight for a long time, so he handles himself like, though he gets ridiculed a lot. Everybody don't like Cole, don't love Cole. He gets ridiculed a lot. So he handles it. you know, he took my guy, he took Cam, and he was like, Coach, I'm gonna make him talk. He gonna be my guy. He gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like he a leader. He a point guard. I rock with him.
True. For you, Matt, what makes the Boo program so special? I mean, it basically like started the AAU out here, from what I've known. Why work for Boo and not other programs? What makes it so special to you?
I mean, for me, this is what I was bought into. I mean, Coach Thomas was with Boo. That's who I was working with. So I just fell in line with what he was doing already.
Where are you from, Hampton area?
I'm from Hampton, but I went to high school in Virginia Beach.
What school did you go to?
I went to Callum back in the day. I went to Callum, yeah.
Because I know you made another comment when I when I posted I think it was I-64 Sport. They said the best 757.
Oh yeah.
They didn't say the best. They said who you going with starting 5, and I put Darius, Iverson, Kelly, Dodo, and Denzel. He was like, he got to be from Tallwood.
Right, he did. I remember that.
Come on, Darius and Kelly.
What? Who was stopping Kelly when Kelly was a senior? Nobody. And
he was tough.
Kelly was good, but come on, man. When you talking at 757,
the all-time 757.
No, I didn't see. I took it as a team, putting a team together.
Oh, just putting together a team.
Yeah, he wouldn't make that team.
If that's his personal team, how you gonna tell me he won't make that team?
I say if you putting a team together, I'm going with that 5, and I think that 5 could take the other 5.
That'd be good. That'd be good. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you put Alonzo Mourning, J.R. Reed, Dodo at the 3, Chuck at the 1, 2, whatever, Tony Rutland, I don't know. You
naming all NBA players.
That's what I'm going to name. We talk about the best players from out here. I'm going to go with the ones I think is best.
It is not enough scoring for that team right there.
Huh?
I said the ball can only be in one of those people's hands.
Oh, true.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I was going at.
So what it be is
point guard. Iverson could do everything.
There's a lot of guys before you get to Kelly still.
Who would be on your top 5?
Like Dodo over Kelly.
You said what?
Dodo over Kelly.
I got Dodo on my list though.
He got Dodo on the team.
Okay, who else you got? Man, I would take Duke Cruz.
Ooh.
Kelly bust his ass.
That's because he was big, playing out of position.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Kelly was a 4 that could handle the rock.
He could. He just wasn't better than the other guys. He wasn't a bum. He was a Division I basketball player, you know?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So he ain't no bum, but when you talking about the best, like, nah.
That's what I think people be getting misconstrued too with this. Like, when you making those teams like that, where you just basketball talk on Twitter and stuff, I think people think like if you don't put a person in your on your 5 or on your 10, they like you thinking the other people are sorry. I'm like, no, it's just the 5 that I said or the 10 that I said, whatever. It's just something that's never going to happen anyway. But it's good talk.
Jason Cable.
Oh, Jason Cable was from did play in Chesapeake.
Yeah, like it's Cali would nah. Brother.
Shit, Johnny Story and all them boys from the other side. I mean, you know, it's a lot of boys. It's a lot of guys out here, yo.
And there's a lot of point guards that came through better than Darius.
Yeah, I mean, I skipped John. I mean, I would put.
I mean, Gilchrist. John.
Yeah, I would put John in front of Darius, but I guess you know I played on their team. I didn't see what John do. I was still in New York at that time. I was a Sebastian Telfair guy all the way.
Oh yeah, I could dig that. That makes sense though.
we used to have arguments about Bashing and Telfair, and then when John didn't make the league and Telfair did out of high school, they ain't say nothing to me no more. You know what I'm saying? But
and when I was in college, we used to have an argument about Chuck and Steph Marbury.
Yeah.
And when I was a freshman at HU, Georgetown played Georgia Tech in the Garden, and we already know what happened. He put the world on notice. I know I won about $200 in the dorm that week. Yeah. He put the world on notice.
Iverson a different breed, man. That story crazy.
Mm-hmm. But it's funny when you talk about those lists like that, though. There's so many guys that you forget guys, and I don't be wanting to make people feel bad.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But it's definitely a conversation for Twitter, debates.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely makes Twitter necessary to have.
Because, like you said, John Gilchrist got to be one of the best players from out here.
Yeah, definitely. I always tell him to come on the show, but I feel like he thinks everybody's going to bring up the situation, a fight situation.
Yeah.
So he never want to do no type of interviews.
Yeah, John don't want no controversy for real. He a good guy.
But yeah, for sure. Speaking of Twitter, y'all have a lot of back and forth with like Team Loaded or other AAU brands. What's that all about? Because when I see y'all out, you mean y'all all cool, but it seems like you're not cool if somebody just on Twitter.
I ain't went back and forth with nobody in a long time, man.
Yeah, I ain't did that in a long time, dog. I know I did that.
That's because AAU season not in right now.
No,
but it was it.
I'm older now.
Yeah, I think I got older, man. And you know what? I was just telling somebody this the other day. I was on the phone with someone from Loaded, right? Mm-hmm. And me and him, we had a long conversation. We rapped a little bit. It was a good convo. And I think a part of it was just men and like testosterone and competition. You know what I mean? So I just think the competition part of it was overdoing what the common goal was to help the kids out or whatever. So I think a lot of testosterone and a lot of men just recruiting the same type of kid to play for us and the same kid to play for them. And I just think it would just cause friction just because it's just a competition type of thing. Most of everybody who coaches in these organizations plays some type of sport, basketball, football coming up. I just think it's just that's all it was. And then when you have conversations like you do in the gyms, because we got to see each other, we all know what it's about. Like this is basketball. This ain't the streets. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really that big, like that pressing. Like, my family and my job and all that. That's more pressing. But I just think it was a competition thing, and everybody just going at each other crazy, trying to get these kids to play in the org. And I think also for real, because I told the other guy that too. Like, I think with Boo being the longevity that the org has had, and the other orgs coming up, I just think, people take shots. You know what I'm saying? Just like with rappers, you know what I'm saying? Like, people come out, people thought Jay-Z and Nas, those were the best guys. So people take shots at them and go at them just to cause some controversy, like 50 Cent did. You know what I mean? Just like, the Cardi B, the girl beef with the rap, it's really, well, they wanted to fight each other, but Cardi and Nicki Minaj. But I think it's just something similar to that. Like, everybody got the same common goal, and if it's worked properly, we all helping kids at the end of the day. And I just think that was a lot of it. And I don't like the antics. That's my big thing.
Yeah, for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that part of it.
I would just entertain Twitter for a little bit. I mean, I don't take none of this stuff serious at all.
Yeah, I don't think nobody do. I just think it'd be funny. Like, y'all be doing.
That's what it's supposed to be.
I think it was when Clay and them was still with Team Low.
Yeah. That was
crazy.
That was my favorite ones to go back and forth with.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah. And I talked to Clay. Me and Clay sat together at a game last year at Indian River Oscar Smith game. And we rapped for like the whole game. Yeah. And it was like one of the first times that we rapped for a while. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, I don't have no issue with nothing that y'all do. Because, y'all building y'all thing up from the ground for real. Like, how couldn't I not respect it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you building it up from the ground with your own touch on it. That's a good thing. I just didn't like the antics. Whatever someone else is doing something, just do your thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you don't have to mention, you know what I'm saying, other situations. Like, when I'm recruiting, you know what I'm saying, kids, you know what I'm saying, for the org or whatever I'm doing, I don't talk about what the other program can't or can't do for you. I just talk about what I can. You know what I'm saying? When I'm on Twitter, doing stuff for the org or even just guys in general. But when I'm just blasting stuff out on Twitter, I'm just doing that for my guys, and that's why I'm just like, it used to be weird to me. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I thought this was basketball, but I just think it's just because I think that's a lot to do with it. Like, people trying to dethrone us. People want to dethrone Boo, want to get him out the way. They think he old. They want to get him done. They want him out of here.
It's gonna be hard. I mean, he got a sportsplex. It's gonna be hard.
Right. Right.
How was that? How was that when he brought that to the Hampton Newport News side? They built the sportsplex. How did that affect you?
It was huge. They talked about it for a long time. I remember when it was like, you know, in the mix and in the works of happening, they kept talking about it. And then I wasn't heavy in the AAU at that time, but I was just going back in the mix and watching high school ball with a couple of my guys. But when I saw that going up, I was like, "Whoa, this thing is done did something else." You know what I'm saying? Then once it started going up, and then when it went up, and all the tournaments and everything that was coming to the town, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't, you know, my work industry, it didn't do anything for me in that way, but I just saw the growth in the city. You know, more hotels popped up. It's like, you know, 4 or 5 more hotels close to the sportsplex. You know what I'm saying? Just from the sportsplex alone, I would think, you know what I'm saying, bring it all, especially when girls tournaments come. Good God. I don't know if you've been over there when a girls tournament has came. It's crazy.
Once, twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Every time I go to Boo, man, they charge me. What's up with that?
Yeah.
now that y'all on the show, what I
So
look, they charge me, and then the security guards don't let me shoot from the baseline.
So
what I gotta do?
Games that I seen on your YouTube page that you recorded for people, you paid to get in there?
Huh?
Like, I've seen, like, on your YouTube page.
Like, well, I don't pay. I usually make the people pay that I'm recruiting, that I'm shooting for. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say. Okay, that's what I was about to say. I'm like, man, I know you ain't paid. Yeah. If you going there to film for someone, but like, I ain't even gonna front, dog. I didn't know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, before, it's not like I run the sportsplex or nothing crazy like that. Let's throw that out there. But I didn't know you back then that well. But you know what I'm saying? I liked your work. Mm-hmm. If I would have had more of a relationship with you back then, I would have, you know, if you coming to film everything and everybody, I don't see what would be the problem with it. I just think, you know, talking, a little bit communication, I think that joint messes up everything, you know, not communicating. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely help you out with that, though.
I think it was the reason I don't just go. I think it was I came up there one time. Y'all had like a event. This was when I first started. Y'all had an event up there. It was kind of a private event, I would say. Y'all was working out some kids, and I think Michael Christmas. I was kind of, you know, because he's from my side, so I was filming him, and then y'all really won't like going up and down, like getting footage. Y'all was working them out, so I wound up leaving, and then one of the people, I think it was Ed Miller, he hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, who you recording for?" I was like, my private my private company. He was like, don't put that out. He was telling me, don't put that out. This was like early on, though. It was like 2015. He was like, don't put that out. We don't want anybody to lose their eligibility or anything like that. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. But it was
Ted is my guy.
But it was other people recording there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Ted is my guy. But he you know, he rubbed people the wrong way a little bit. He is my guy. But he can rub you the wrong way a little bit. I think also, too, dog, to be honest with you, all the new technology stuff and all the new, like, all the videographers and all that coming to games and the photographers, that is new to Boo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm trying, if this season didn't get jammed up, I was trying to have a videographer for each age, 15, 16, and 17. You know what I'm saying? Telling Boo, look, they need to at least have their own room. You know, we can feed them. And, you know, make sure that you don't got to pay to get at the thing if you're traveling with us. But all of that is new to him, yo. I'm telling you, like, he didn't understand. Like, he didn't understand it. I'm telling you, he didn't understand. And then last year, we had a guy from D.C. that followed the 17 girls and boys, this guy named Josh, Triple Threat. And he understood it then. Like, he sees, like, you know, the views on it. Like, his wife was showing him the views on the Instagram page and the engagements on the Twitter page. You know what I'm saying? I showed him one time when Kobe's daughter passed. I put a video up of Kobe, Gigi hugging her little sister that one of my friends from out Cali made. And that joint had like 1.3 million impressions on Twitter. And I showed it to him. He couldn't believe it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's new, that especially 2015. Because when you think that joint really started popping off with videographers, you know, it probably was around that time. Yeah.
I mean, that's why I started doing it. I mean, I was doing it for the kids on my side, and I was like, well, the beach, I would say, and I was like, they wasn't as accepting, the Virginia Beach schools, accepting of it. So then I started going to all the Norfolk schools, and they was like, come on in.
Yeah, I know they was welcoming.
And then that's when I just started going to all the schools. Well, try to make it to all the schools.
When the guys on the PD, there's some young guys on the PD that do some of the PD games, but it's not a lot that do a lot of PD games. And I think it was some good games over there. Or either the quality of the video don't be that good, or either the music is crazy. Like he'd DM me all the time, like, "Yo, did you listen to that video before you posted that joint?" No, I was like, "Nah." He's like, the first 3 words are bleep 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 bleep. You know what I'm saying?
That's one of my main things that I try not to post a video with cursing and stuff in it. Or I try to find a clean version. But if like if somebody pay for it and they want that, I'll give it to them, but I won't post it on my page.
Yeah, that's what people tell me too. I won't
put my tag up there either.
Yeah, I had a videographer tell me that. He was like, that's what the guy wanted or whatever.
It is. I mean,
Word.
Crazy. That's what they be wanting. You know, they what they be listening to now.
Yeah. I think be honest with you myself, I think those mixes and all that, I think they sound better with live court action, raw cut, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you just putting it together the way you do, the way you produce it, you know what I'm saying, however you do that, you know what I'm saying, the way you do that. But I like the sounds of raw game film, you know what I'm saying, and then you might throw a sound effect or something behind it. But when I pay for it, I tell the person, like, nah, I don't want no music. I just want the raw game sounds. Don't put no, especially if I pay you, I'll tell you exactly how I want it.
Yeah, like they ask for it like that, and they don't realize that a lot of the college guys, they watch, listen, and that turns them off. Like the one time I posted the list that the coach from Oklahoma State had posted, and that was like number 2 or 3 on his list. Like, I don't want to get in a mix with no cursing in it.
I think I seen that. I was looking at it.
And I had a few people DM me mad at like, why would you say that? I'm like, I didn't say this. This came from a Power 5 assistant coach, and this is what he putting out there. So I'm giving it to everybody to see.
Give it to y'all.
And they
like, it's some dudes
that's how we make
cursing.
You said what?
There's some guys that don't like cursing. These people don't understand. There's some college coaches that do not like cursing, that don't curse in practice. They don't curse at all. So if that joint come on like that, they're gonna cut it off. So I mean, I had a videographer say they're not doing it. It's kind of confusing. Like 1 minute you say you're doing it to help kids out, and then if somebody brings it to your attention, be like, yo, why you put that cussing on the back there? Be like, well, it's for this, and that, or whatever. What other purpose can a highlight tape be for? You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I would think you would want that person to use it, you know what I'm saying, for whatever means they want to use it for. But
well, that's the problem now. A lot of them are using it for more clout than actually trying to go to school. You know what I mean? I get so many kids that ask me, hey, can you send me those 2 layups I made? You know what I mean? Right. That's why I started putting the full game out so they can use their iPhone and then do screen record.
Right.
They can get their own, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, it's more of a clout thing now than actually trying to go to school, you know what I mean, for the mixtape.
I see. You crunch your whole game into 17 minutes. What, you just take all the other stuff out?
Like, so every time someone score, I make a clip of that, or I make it so that I mark it. So all the other misses and all the
okay. Oh, you ain't got to give up your special sauce. You ain't got to give up your sauce.
But you know, man, I mean, I used to try to compete with Slamming on Slam, Ballers Life, all, you know, the bigger companies, but just at a smaller scale. So I always try to get the footage out the next day, always.
Because I remember when the Playmaker dudes had it on Smash out here for a minute.
Yeah, but they left because they chased the big names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they could have blew their own joint.
I tell Andrew and LaRussa that all the time.
Because they do good work.
They the best videographers out here.
Yeah, they could have blew.
But they work for the bigger company now, and I'm sure they have their own reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I first came into the game, I used to see Andrew all the time.
Word up.
Like, then I started talking to him, and he hit me game to getting a media pass and all of that. So I praise him for that all the time. But then when he left, they just stopped. I was like, why? But I mean, I guess they doing it for different reasons. I'm doing it because I want the kids in the 7-5 to be as big as they can. Or I want to do my part along with the high school coaches,
to help them,
the news media, to get the kids the best opportunity they can to go to school. So that's why I'm not driving to Richmond. I'm not going to see LaMelo Ball play. I don't care. I want the kid that played for Oscar Smith or the kid that played for Hampton to go to school. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It is some like you. I heard you say it before. It's enough videographers everywhere else. They can handle it. They can handle those areas themselves. But I was like, yo, they was on to something good. That name was catchy and everything.
That's what I said. I was like, every time somebody get a bucket, they can say that.
Yeah.
I make plays. That's
hard. Up. That was hard.
They had the T-shirts and everything.
I got like 2 or 3 T-shirts. I did like 2 of their camps they did. Yo, that was super hard, yo. I made plays. I remember Jermaine Merrill.
Yes.
Good God. Yo. He went crazy. I don't know if it was Hampton or Bethel, but one of them was on the baseline, and he went across his chest and said, I make plays. I said, I would have never got rid. They must have gave him the bag and bought their equipment for him and all that or something.
I see that Brian and Stratton, I've seen that y'all been posting like hiring videographers to do some work for y'all too. How did that go about?
It started really with Meach. He was trying to get guys to come in and do that, to help the kids out, to send out to the schools when they start asking for video. And it actually worked. We had a few schools when they saw the videos, they reached out, offered kids and stuff like that. So then from there, it became a necessity, something that we need to do. So we started getting the guys to travel with us, and we try to get a video of every game. Yeah. And each kid, by the end of the season, should have their own highlight tape.
Facts.
No, we started doing that joint. Like, people act like, when me and Mac was coaching, we've been coaching together for a minute. But when we had, I'm trying to think the first year. I think one year when we had, like, Kendall, Bynum, Brequan, this kid named Stewart. It was a few, and they were good. AJ James, all of them was on our team. Yo, my man Rico from Hampton I used to be his supervisor at a job. Word up. And he brought a camera into work and was just doing some stuff. I'm like, yo, you take pictures? And he was like, yeah. Yo, we took him to Pittsburgh. Right after that, the next thing you know, he going to Pittsburgh Jam Fest with us. Because we was quote unquote like the second team. So I was like, boom, if I take a video dude out with me and a camera dude out with me, you could take some pictures, get some videos up, you know what I'm saying? And it'll kind of like blow it up for him and help him blow it up or whatever. And it was kind of dope. It kind of worked out. Now, Rico was popping out. He's like one of the best photographers out here to me, without a doubt. We take him on our trips to AAU trips and all that. But at first, it wasn't in our budget. Me and Mac were just making it happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, boom, we're going to move these hotel rooms around and maybe put 3 kids in a room. You know what I'm saying? Or either I might bring Rico, have him in my room or something like that, and, pay for him to get into the event for the weekend and stuff like that, just to make sure, because, like, just to make sure that it happened. Like, we did a lot, like, behind the scenes stuff. I'm sure a lot of AAU coaches and a lot of people that's involved do the same. But, doing that when I first was getting in the mixed heavy duty, I was paying a lot. I was paying like I weighed, trust me. You know what I'm saying? Like, going to, and still wearing the Boom Williams brand on our chest. Like, before we switched over, we was the Hampton Hoyas, and I was doing a lot. I was getting my dues to help pay, Mac helping me pay. We buying uniforms out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? We did that grind for sure. But then we were still wearing the brand. Boom Williams was the second team. We was paying for stuff. Like, we'll go to DC. We're like, boom, call the director for the tournament. We're like, yo, don't give me no Friday night game. Give me like a Saturday afternoon game. We're going to drive up Saturday. We're going to have a room for one night. You know what I'm saying? 4 rooms, 400. You know what I'm saying? I used to try to figure it out like that. I call Boo, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to, cry. Like, yo, Boo, I need you. You know what I'm saying? Take care of this for me. I remember I was with him one night late, 1 in the morning. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was running out of, we about to go to Augusta to play in a nice tournament down that joint. And I'm like, dog, we ain't got enough bread, yo. Like, I just ain't gonna front. We ain't got no bread. I'm like, yo, should I call Boo? You think I should call Boo? It's like 1 a.m. He's like, yeah, call him, yo. You know what I'm saying? I called him, and I was like, Coach, I just need you to pay half of our hotel room. You know what I'm saying? We got cars. We're going to make it happen. Da, 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 da. And then when I went there the next morning, he just gave us the check for the whole they paid for all of the hotel. He asked me how much it was that night, and I was like, boom, just give me a check for half. He ended up giving me a check for the whole weekend for the cover of all of the hotel expenses and stuff like that. So, you know, we went from that. Like, I'm telling you, that's why I respect it. I dig it. I respect it because I went from grinding, calling my homeboys that I play ball with, on my dudes that I run around with, my friends, and asking them for the 200-300s to put that together. And then we go to North Carolina for a weekend because it's right down the road, 3 hours, 4 hours, and we can stay one night and get right back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did that. Believe that.
It's been getting expensive, but why is it been getting so expensive? Like, so much now. It's like crazy.
What it kind of go ahead, man. I mean, because you know,
tournament fees getting crazy. Everybody sees that they can make $1 off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So people all trying to figure out how they can get money off of it. And I think it's a lot of people playing now versus back when we were coming up. Everybody didn't play AAU. Like, you had to be good.
Yeah.
Real good.
Yeah, and now anybody making a team everywhere. So
it's like no more rec basketball. It's like everything is AAU.
Everything is AAU. It seemed like it anyway. And I made a promise to myself I was gonna get back out in the mix and see the younger kids more. But it's hard because they play so early. I'll be at work. I got a regular 9 to 5. People don't really understand. I'm like, yo, I work. They got a family to take care of other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I can't get to a 4 o'clock game in the afternoon.
I'm the same way. The women's teams, all of that. It's like, bro, why you don't make the games? Like,
because they're gonna hit you with that Title IX.
I mean, I'll be like, I work. Yo, y'all games are way too early.
They're gonna hit you with that Title IX. They're gonna have you not being able to go to no school. They're like, he doesn't respect the Title IX. But nah, with us ain't no money though. Like, my last team that paid money was Kendall on that team. That team that I had with Kendall, Brequan, and them. And that team was good. Like, we won a lot. Like, we was the second team. We won a lot. That was the last team that paid anything that paid for me. Any kid that when they see this and they can't DM you and be like, I did this when I played for Barry. No, you ain't paid when you play for Barry. That's a lie. Even when some of my Hampton Hoya teams, them kids ain't paid, dog. Like, I was going to the town, like, back in the day, like, when it first started. I'm going in the hood getting kids that can go. Yeah. They ain't got the bread. They don't got the 125. They don't have no registration money. Like, we just making it happen. Like, I just don't express all that, but all the time. But that'd be real. Like, that team that I had with Kendall, and we went up. We played in a lot of good tournaments. I had a lot of good players. I don't even know if everybody paid, but I think our fee was like $200, and we went on like 5 trips. You know what I'm saying? That $200 a kid, when you got like 10 kids, that's like $2,000, dog. That ain't doing nothing.
That ain't doing the hotels.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like I'm keeping it. That's against the law for me to keep the bread. I got to turn the bread in and then get the bread given back to me in check form or have them to pay for it. Like, we can't raise money. Well, you're not supposed to. You start an organization, Day AAU program, and people paying you bread or your coaches getting money from parents. They're not supposed to take that money and go pay. That's probably supposed to come to your program, to your nonprofit org, and then it gets distributed back out. So taxes and all that. You know what I'm saying? So we wasn't taking no money. Like, that came up about on Twitter one time before, and that's one of the times that I got, like, I was like, what are you talking about? Don't nobody pay no bread over here. Like, none of our 8th grade teams don't know, man. 8th through 11th ain't paying no bread on the boys' side like that. I'm telling you. I know for sure. For fact. Factory. You can check that. Like,
what age group y'all doing now this year?
I'm on 17s.
Okay. And you still coaching where I'm at?
No. I'm just doing with recruiting stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I went up to 17s with Boo this year. He asked me to come up with him, so I'm going up. And I was ready for the season to play, to help coach 17s and get on the road and get around all those different type of on that level. Everybody think they got it already, so I just wanted to be around it, because on ours on 15s, you know what I'm saying, I enjoyed it because it was our show. You know what I'm saying? Boo isn't like one of those guys, like, he'll call her, after the games and all that. It'd be like, what happened or what's going on, how y'all doing, or da-da-da-da. But when you coach like 15s or like Tree got 16s, it's your show. You know what I'm saying? You make it happen. You call him in when you need some reinforcements or whatever to help you with your recruiting piece. If you need him to touch on it, to touch on the parent for you too. But it's your show. You know what I'm saying? And then you winning or losing, it's yours. You gotta own it.
Facts. You said earlier that you had AJ James on your team. How do you feel about his loss? I know that was a big loss for the whole basketball community.
Man, yo, this dude called me like at 3:30. You called me like 4 in the morning?
It was 4:15. I was about to go to work, and Meach had texted me to our Brian Stratton group chat and was like, "Y'all heard about AJ?" And I went on Twitter, and that's when I seen somebody that posted on Twitter. So I started calling him. He not answering. And then
I almost got in trouble because my girl was like, your phone going off. It's like 4 in the morning. My phone vibrated. I'm like, okay. And then I said, it's Matt. She's like, oh, you need to answer. That might be important.
Yeah, so I just kept calling until he picked up. And yeah, that was hard.
Dog. From that point when he called me, like I said, it was like 4 in the morning. I just was like at the foot of my bed. My girl goes to work at like 6 in the morning. So she's getting ready to go to work. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, yo, the unbelievable just happened. I never thought that a kid that I coached was going to be taken from here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And all the kids are good kids, you know what I'm saying? But AJ, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you ever coached them or been around them or did something for them or this and that, like, it's hard. Like, it made me kind of like tear up every time I talk about him, because he was like the greatest. He was like one of the best kids. He's one of my favorite kids I ever coached. I don't say it a lot, but he's one of them. And he used to know that too. Like that week, when he passed, when it happened to him, I had just saw him.
Yeah,
at the scope.
At the scope, yeah.
Yeah, and then I was up at his school like the week before that. I was up at Hargraves recruiting, and I talked to him up there, and I just told him up then. And he came down here and played in the game. But when I saw him up there, I was like, yo, man, you know, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I'm so happy for you, dog. You put in so much work. Da-da-da. He's like, Coach, that's what's up. You know, he was a guy. He was one of my guys. And we talked, even when he didn't play for me no more or play in the org no more, you know what I'm saying? I always talked to him, and he always, you know, was always a good kid, yo. So it was terrible, yo. It was real bad, like awful. No bull. Impacting the basketball community in the area, like it was something different. Like, you know, we went to the funeral. Me and Boo went to the funeral together. He was supposed to come. He couldn't even make it. He couldn't even do the funeral. You know what I'm saying? So we was there, and it was a lot. He brought a lot of people together. A lot of people love AJ. He touched a lot of souls. You know, from here to nationwide, he blew up. You know, them boys did a good job with AJ last year. You know, when they found out he was going to prep, they did a good job with him over there. You know, he got a lot of notoriety. He blew up on the town. He blew up nationally. So, you know, I thought AJ might have had a chance to make his way all the way somewhere professionally, you know, the work that he put in, whether it was the league or overseas or something like that. I thought he had a chance.
Yeah.
When he first came to play for us, I remember when he first came, he didn't even play much the first time at all. We didn't play him at all for real. And his mom came to us and was like, what we got to do to get on the court?
One conversation.
And then next thing you know, one of the kids on the team gave up his starting spot for AJ.
That's how you know. Them boys still rock with each other to this day.
Yeah, like that. Them guards that was on that team, man, it was different. They were different. And they all tight. And when he gave up his spot, man, that's what I knew. Like, yo, these cats really rock with each other, man.
They really liked each other. We had Kendall Bynum, Braquan Harrell, Stu. I keep saying Stu. What's Stu's first name?
Jalen Stewart.
Jalen Stewart from Wozenham.
Kayvon
James. Kayvon James was on that team. Tim Montgomery was on that team. Kyrie Groggis from Hampton High. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had a really good team, and they really you know, I posted some pictures of all of them from back then. We was on the road and stuff together, and they was hitting me up asking me for those pics and stuff like that. They were a really good group, and then from that day, it was a tournament at the Sportsplex too. He ain't played that much till he came to us with, you know, what we got to do to get on the floor and to stay. And I was like, yo, I just need him to keep, you know, playing D the way he does and be active and this, and that. Next thing you know, he started. The kid gave up his role. He thought he probably was going to get it back, but we couldn't take him back out the game after that. You know what I'm saying? You could coach him. You could coach AJ. You could scream at him. You know what I'm saying? I remember vividly in CP3, in the tournament of CP3, we playing CP3. And we you know what I'm saying, before the game, we get some guards on their team. We didn't really respect their jump shots that much. We was like, yo, go underneath. And he trailed over top. And I called a timeout, and I chewed into him so bad, yo. He was just looked at me like, all right, I got you, coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I chewed him because I wanted to win. We ended up losing that game by like a couple of points, but I wanted to beat them so bad in their tournament, CP3. But, you know, you can get on him. It didn't bother him or none of that.
Yeah. I always tell everybody, like, when he used to hit me up for, like, footage or whatever, he was, like, the most respectful kid.
Mm-hmm.
He always was like, hey, yo, I know you busy dude, but you got any footage of me? Could you please send it? You know, I appreciate you. Thank you. He always said thank you, even when I was with Team Loaded and them, on with them. Always was like, thank you, bro. Appreciate you being there. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
No, it hurt. AJ is a big loss to the town for sure. Big loss to the town. He's gonna be remembered. You know, when it first went down, a lot of the coaches were in like a group chat from the area, and we said we're gonna try to put something on. I told him we just need to, you know, holler at Toya, make sure she's okay with it, and then we try to, you know, put something together, you know, after the corona and everything is over with. Yeah,
I think I talked to an AAU coach about it. I think I talked to Clay about it. I was saying that we should do an all-star game every year for him. Like, you know.
Yeah, I told them to call you because it was Pete that was in the group chat. I was like, well, Day already does, you know, those type of benefit games and all that. So he kind of knows how to put it on. Yeah. We got to get somebody to put it on, and then we'll just put it together from there. It's something that I definitely want to come in, you know what I'm saying, that we could put together, though, because he's definitely.
As long as Peoples is cool with it, I'm cool with it. I'll do it.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. What's some of the other big kids that you what's some of the best kids that played under y'all that y'all actually had the opportunity to coach?
Oh, just for us directly in the past?
Yeah.
Shoot. That group there, and then I mean, you know, last year I had Kanye, DJ Campbell, Ephraim Johnson. That's the three-headed monster that was really good. You know what I'm saying? They was really good for us. You know what I mean? Because I've always coached younger, so I didn't coach like the super studs. This would have been my first year with the 17s, coaching like the quote-unquote guys or whatever. And those three guys were really good. Who was older that was with us, Mac? You think was really good? Who?
Jaden Epps.
Epps. Yeah, shit. Epps was with us as an 8th grade. He played on the 9th grade team. He was crazy with us. Like, he put on.
Jelani still play with y'all?
Who?
Jelani
still with us. Jelani was on that team with Jaden Epps. I had Jaden Epps, Jelani Darden. We had Christian Moore.
Jaden
Freeman. Bryson Spell. Matt Nunez. Who else was good on that team? I mean, all of them was good. Who? Duro from Northern Virginia. Shit. Those teams was good. We had some really good teams. Our league is real competitive on the 15U level. So we'd have played against some really good guys on 15s too, like you would believe it. And the crowds and stuff for 15U games sometimes it's crazy. Like, you may not get a ton of college coaches, but the programs come out to support. And then you got those NBA guys who got kids on the team. They come out. But, shoot, who else that's been down with us the last couple of years that was really good? But that team was really good. Jaden, Jaylani. Who did we start? Jaden, Jaylani.
Jaden Freeman, Matt and Duro. Bryson Duro.
Yeah, we started Jaden Freeman at the 3. Yeah.
I be going to Bryce games, man. He be like so laid back. Like, I feel like what is he, like 6'7"? How tall is he?
He's 6'9" now, yo.
Like, it's crazy. Like, I see him in a warm-up line doing the craziest dunks. But in the game, he don't never shoot the ball now. Like, they just be chilling.
Yo, when me and Mac used to talk about it, when we figured we was going to have Bryson that year, I was like, he's going to be crazy. He scored it okay for us, but, yo, he rebounded and blocked shots. I couldn't believe how many block shots he used to get per game, yo, and rebound the ball. I think I always tell him when I go to the Cape Henry games, to be a little more aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, because it seemed like he's like, I don't know. Sometimes it seems like he's playing the play and not playing loose. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's looking for the next play or the next pass or sometimes like that. So that's how I tell him to play loose. I think if he played a little looser and shot the ball more, because he can shoot it too, I think he'll do a little bit better than what he does sometimes.
What's some of the, before we get out of here, what's some of the stuff that people say about the Boo organization that's not true? That's not true.
Oh, that we don't like kids from the 757 is one. That's a big false statement, that we don't like kids from the town. Or
I mean, I see you at every game I go to. That can't be true.
Right, but I'm telling you, dog, it's still in the air. Like, people still say it, and it's confusing to me. Like I said, people who quit,
like people expecting certain people to be on the team.
Yeah.
So when that specific kid don't, then they feel like it's something to it. I remember last year I was at 2 years ago, I was at a Norview game at the Scope, and some dude just started yelling at me about John Hines. And I'm like, man, John can play, but for Boo team, like, what position would you play John at? Like, Norview, he's a big for them realistically. Like, on that EYBL, man, what is he gonna do against those 6'10", 6'11" guys? Like, it just don't translate to the level that we play at on that team. So, and he was like, man, Boo don't never mess with nobody from Northview and all that. And I'm just listening to, I ain't say nothing to the guy, I just let him have it, man. Like, yo, this dude is crazy. Like,
yeah, I think the big misconception is that we don't like the local kids, and it just that's not true. I just, it's been a while since we had that much talent where we could go 1 through 10 in the area. You know what I mean? Like, in any big AAU organization, they go out and you could get 3 kids, you know what I'm saying, from out of state. So everybody goes and gets 3 kids from out of state, you know what I'm saying, to help out, you know what I mean, with your program and with your org. But so to me, that's the biggest one, you know what I'm saying, that we don't. And then another one is that I don't think people think that we're working for our guys, you know what I'm saying, behind the scene. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a misconception, that we don't work, that we're not putting in work, that we're not, you know, making calls, sending film out. You know what I'm saying? Like, trust me, we're doing that a lot. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing that a lot. It's just, I don't think everything that I do should be celebrated on social media, because it would seem like I may not be doing it for the right reason if I celebrate everything that I do. Like, if every time I email a college coach some game film, or every time I talk to somebody about a kid or whatever, I don't think I got to be like, yeah, I talked to such and such a day for such and such. It's kind of crazy to me that, you know, to do all that. But I think those two things to me are big X's, red X's, that we don't like the kids in the area, and that we don't work for our kids behind the scenes, because we put in a lot of work behind the scenes for our guys. And the area is what built the org. You know what I'm saying? You could talk to Boo about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He would interview with you. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't mind doing these things. Like, you know, the area built the organization from brick. You know, Boo was from Hampton. He's from Hampton. You dig? So he got the idea when he was in school up there in Philly, and he brought it back down to his town. And I just think he's like, to me, if I was to start an organization, right, even if I left Nike or left him, I wouldn't want him in my back pocket, because he gets calls on everything, no matter what brand it is. Adidas, Nike, Under Armour, whether it's regular AAU, whether it's circuit AAU, whether it's NBA, USA basketball. He gets the calls. I'm with him a lot. You know what I'm saying? Over the last couple of years, I'm with him a whole lot, doing a lot of different things behind the scenes for the org. So those are my main things right there, yo. It's kind of weird. Like you said, you see me at all the games. And sometimes kids don't make it. Like, they might play for me, they may not play 16s, they might go play somewhere else. But those kids that play for me, I still talk to them. I got a relationship with them regardless if they play for me or not. I'm still going to, like, if they get an offer, if they playing for another org, I'm still going to like it if they tweet it out or retweet it out or text them and be like, congratulations, keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have no beef with, like, you know what I'm saying, because we all trying to do the same thing, in my opinion. So I think those are my big takes away from that. What you think, Matt?
Yeah, definitely. Those two. And then I know people tend to think Boo out here taking everybody money.
Oh, yes. That's a big misconception, too. It's a big misconception that Boo is taking money and doing this and doing all that. It costs to play AAU. And if you want to start an organization, you better get some money. You better get some money. You better get some money. I'm telling you, I ain't never had my own org, but I done coached non-sponsored teams before. It costs money. You got 12 kids on your team, 11 kids on your team, 12. The most you want to put in a room is 3. Yeah. So just for your players alone, you need 4 or 5 hotel rooms for 2 nights every time you go somewhere. And then, you know what I'm saying, when we go out of town, when I'm the head coach, you know what I'm saying, I always tell my guys, I'm going to feed y'all, you know what I'm saying, probably once. I'm not feeding y'all all day. I'm going to feed y'all when we get in town on Friday. I'll probably feed y'all that next morning, Saturday morning, and one more time. And then, if I done fed you 3 or 4 times, you should be able to hold yourself down by then. But, you know, we ain't taking no money. The other, programs that's under the umbrella that pay registration fees, that's because they're paying registration fees to be under the umbrella in order for them to play. You know, they got to pay for stuff. You got to pay for the referees. You got to pay for the sportsplex. You got to pay for the lights to be on in that joint. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big, huge misconception that we taking money from the town. Like, we don't charge for tryouts. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I see that from teams that's on circuits. Yeah. I'm not throwing no shots at nobody who's not sponsored or nothing, but I see sponsored organizations charge $20, $25 for tryouts. Nike teams too, shit. Nike, I've seen Nike teams on Twitter. It come across my timeline, you know, a big tryout flyer, the same type of stuff that I get my guy to do for us. And then at the bottom it says tryout fee $25. And you recruiting though, you know what I'm saying? Like, how could I charge you to come try out for me? You know what I'm saying? I probably never recruited 5 kids that's gonna be on the team for sure. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we don't charge for that. We don't do a lot of charging. We have free combines every summer. I throw a combine every summer. We do a combine at the Sportsplex every summer for middle school. That's no charge, no money. And then we have a high school combine right before the high school season starts at the Sportsplex, where we getting an early look at kids and stuff like that too. It's no money. It's not a whole lot of money being taken from the community. You know what I mean? And then, you know, people think that because the Sportsplex says Boo's name on it, that every dollar that comes through there is his dollar. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of moving parts behind it. You're a businessman yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of moving parts behind businesses. So, you know, I just think those I forgot about that, man. That money thing is crazy. People think we rich. I don't get paid to coach. Yeah, I don't get paid to recruit.
I don't get $1 out of this.
I don't get $1 out of this. I spend more money than I make. Believe that.
Don't Boo sweatsuits tough though.
Oh, I love them. I take all that. I take all of that. Trust me. And I just told Mac today, I was like, yo, I talked to coach today. I told him I need a new sweatsuit. He talking about it's hot. I was like, I need a new one. I want something new. You know what I'm saying? I'm in it. Dog, this year right here, dog, like, I've been on a more operation side of the org for the last couple of years, 2 years probably. So we had a lot of big things planned, you know what I mean, until COVID came. That kind of interrupted a lot of things. And I talked to people in the city. I talked to people that I respect, and a lot of people that coach ball, that was in the AAU game, that was with us, and now they're college coaches, so they recruit everybody. And I ask them what they think we're missing. Like, what are some of the things that you think we're missing as an organization from the outside looking in? You know, and I take it, and I take it to Boo. Boo, listen. I take it to him, and then we try to do what we can to kind of fix those things. Like, you know, I'm doing more things in the city. You know, once this COVID thing lifts up and we can move around, you know, we have so much stuff planned for this year, like to get guys more exposure, some media stuff. You was on my list to come to our media day. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? We were doing a lot, you know what I'm saying? Cookouts for the org this year and all that was going to be happening for the summer. You know what I'm saying? Boo was listening and letting me get in those pockets a little bit. So I was going to do that. And we reaching back down to the middle school situations. Mm-hmm. That's been a big pet peeve of mine for a long time.
Especially
trying to get the middle school.
Chosen one.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. We got to keep Jamal Brown. You know, Jamal, he's doing is incredible. So, you know, and another P-Town kid coming through. He's gonna come through. Jamal gonna be a wing too. People don't realize that he's gonna be on that perimeter because he could wiggle right now.
Yeah, and it's crazy because when I first started filming and when I first heard about him, Mello Dad, he used to tell me about it. He's like, "Yeah, I just got him, bro. I just met his family." And he was still calling him tall kid. He didn't even know his name.
He didn't even know his name. When he told me about him, he didn't know his name.
Yeah, and then when I first recorded him, they had an event at Virginia Beach Fieldhouse. He couldn't dribble, nothing. Like it was bad. But now, yeah,
he's scary. Different. I didn't make it to a Walters game. Mac made it to one because it was too early. You know what I'm saying? But yo. He said that game was retarded. You been to him, right? You been to the game over there?
I've been there every one this year.
Word?
Yeah. I think I didn't go to the one that was at Norcom because I was out of town, but every other one I was there.
And I know people hit you all the time like, yo, he's not this, he's not that. That's the only thing that made me mad about it when the big companies were getting on it, and I would be in the comments, dog. I would call these dudes. I'm like, yo, I'm replying to every comment. Promise you. I'm replying because I'm like, yo, everybody who's been involved with big time basketball, right? Big time AU basketball, whatever the circuit, whatever. It's been a lot of Jamals.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know what I'm saying? We ain't had that in this area with a kid in middle school going that crazy, possibly in a minute, since Cam was shooting all them three. It's, you know, middle school kids can hoop. Jaylani was good. Jaden was going for 40 and 50. In middle school, Jaden was going crazy. I went to a game. Mac went to a game. He said they was triple teaming him. He still had 45.
Still had like 37.
Come on, yo. Yeah. So if you've been involved in big time basketball, you've seen that. Like, remember that Oakland Soldiers team that was sixth graders? They had this kid Shamar
and Kyrie Walker. They would
Kyrie Walker
and all that in sixth grade.
Sixth grade throwing lobs, dog. Like, so it made me mad, especially when I see guys that can hoop. I'm like, dog, you was one of those guys. You was one of them. Like, if you're really, really good and you play Division I basketball, more than likely, when you was in middle school, you was really, really good. You might not have been dunking and catching hoops, but you was real good. Like, real good. Like, it'd be weird when I see grown people bashing him like that. I'm like, damn, he's 1 year behind like any other kid that's reclassed or prep or whatever you want to call it. He's one grade, just like anybody else.
I know. Yeah, that's what everybody say, but I'd be like, it happens. You know what
It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Dog, you know what, man? Our 8th grade teams and 7th grade teams play in a league called May Hoops. You ever heard of May Hoops?
Yeah. I see it. I follow it because of Mello and Jamal.
Dog, the 8th grade team that won it this year, I think New York Lightning won it.
Yeah, Lightning
won it. No, they had a 6'9" 7th grader, African. Then they had two. They didn't even start him. They started two bigs. Like one was like 6'6", like body wise, dunking, catching oops. They had a guard that's coming down the lane, dunking, doing like half court sets. I'm like, yo, all you got to do, like I was telling one of those sports writer on Twitter before. He was talking about middle school and he don't do this and he don't do that. And I'm like, dog, like, you need to come to May Hoops and I'll make sure that you don't pay to get in. When it comes to Hampton, I'm going to make sure that you don't pay to get in because you need to see this. If you think this is that far off, that crazy, like, it's not. It's middle school basketball, 8th grade basketball, middle school. That shit is high school ball, yo, because it's a ton of reclass kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they just get into it. That's what it's like EYBL almost for middle school when you're in the 8th grade when you playing May Hoops. It's that competitive. And the hoop group thing is pretty good too.
Yeah. I've been at a lot of the hoop group events. Mac, how is it working for Brian and Stratton? Like how do y'all get y'all players? How you recruit your players?
So one thing that I do is I look in the transfer portal. I'm trying to find a stud. So I check that just about every day. No lie. Every day I get in there and I check that every day. And then I also use the AAU programs. I go to anybody's AAU game. I don't just stick to this EYBL. Because the likelihood of me getting an EYBL kid is damn near impossible. And so I'm going to the small events, looking for guys. I'm looking everywhere, man. I'm searching Twitter. Like, I get phone calls, and then we take references too. A lot of people go online and send in reference forms, and they'll send them to me, and I like hit them up. You got video, you got a game coming up, let me know, and I go out and see. And we got a pretty decent budget over there, so we're able to move around a little bit and see what's going on.
We're in the streets. We in these streets, Day. We in these streets for sure.
I can be out recruiting for Boo and Brian Stratton at the same time. Like,
word.
That's what's up. Well, what does the future hold for y'all too, man? In the future, what y'all looking forward to?
Well, basketball wise, you know, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing with the org. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really have the aspirations to like really coach like college. I may jump back in the high school mix. The only reason I stopped coaching high school ball is because I got a new job, and my hours kind of jam me up. And, you know, high school is 6 days a week when you're getting it going. So I'm just going to continue to do what I do. You know, helping kids out through AAU. You know, do some other stuff the way I do. I also, you know, I used to mentor kids as well. So I'm gonna keep doing things like that and using my platform to help, you know, to pump these kids from here that I you know what I'm saying, that needs it. Pump our kids that's in the org, you know what I mean? And only thing I see myself doing with basketball is to continue with the Boo Williams organization for real. I'm not really going out to be a college coach or anything or to have my own organization. The only other thing I may do is probably get back into the high school mix. If I was coaching AAU in my 20s, I probably would be, you know, trying to coach college ball and do some stuff like that. But right now, I like giving back to the town. You know what I mean? I like going to the gym, you know, rapping. Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I like going to the gym, talking to everybody about ball and this and that. You know, sometimes I got to, you know, keep it moving because it just be a lot of negativity. But I like it. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy it. I get a lot out of it. You know, that's my why for the whole basketball thing, though, really.
For me, right now, continue doing this JUCO thing, helping everybody out that I can. Trying to go to school as well. Again, I'm a coach. They let me go for free, so I'm trying to get my bachelor's of business management administration. And then I don't see myself ever going back to high school. I can't do that no more. And then with the AAU thing, for now, I'll stick around, stick to the Boo Williams thing. Hopefully one day I could take over for Boo. How about that?
Word.
Let me get Boo's spot.
Like I said,
I done had a few guys ask me about doing the college thing. I ain't never really put no thought into it because I know what kind of time they put in with that. And then I just like being close to my son. So it'll be hard for me to leave this area with my son being as young as he is. And he lives with his mother. So I can't see myself leaving him right now. So I just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, we got to keep the operations going. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I've been doing a lot of the background operations for the org and doing a lot of traveling with Boo, doing a lot of, you know, talking with the Nike folks. So, you know what I mean? It's already in their head, too. We got to keep the org going. You know what I'm saying? Whether we pull Troy back, bring Troy back home, we got to keep it going and get some, you know, good people in the mix with it, you know what I'm saying, to help us out to keep the thing going. I'm always out here talking to coaches and talking to young folks, younger guys than myself, to try to see where their heads are at and, you know, to see if they want to get involved. I get people texting me, you know, how to get involved with the organization or how did I start coaching with Boo or how did I get on EYBL and this and that. But like I was saying earlier, it's a journey. It's a road. I coach non-sponsor. Me and Matt coach non-sponsor for a long time. You know what I mean? And then you got to bring something to the table. Like it's not be realistic about it. If you coming to me wanting to get down with the org that day or whatever, I'm going to want you to at least from your standpoint now, you can video and you do all that. But as a basketball, I'm going to want to, you know, do you got guys? Can you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like. It just got to be realistic with it. Like, do you got kids? Do you coach in a feeder program? Are you coaching already? You know what I'm saying? Like, you do got to bring something to it. I ain't going to front and just be like, we just open arms and we want to bring anybody and everybody in. And it is because, you know, we got to keep it going. We got to win You know, I told somebody this the other day, like, we don't charge no bread, but in order for us to keep moving around and putting these kids in these hotel rooms and going to these tournaments, we're supposed to be in Sacramento this weekend for Session 3 out in Sacktown. We got to get the check to come in. We got to get the check from Nike, you know what I'm saying, in order to distribute all this stuff down to all these different teams and get these kids all this gear and all that. It costs money to do that, so you got to win. You got to have guys. You got to have players in order to be a piece. When we beat AOT last year at Peace Jam, Nike loves Boo. You know what I'm saying? They love him. But either you had a chance to have Sharif Cooper, Brandon Boston, to play against Jalen Green and Devin Askew, or do you want to have, you know, Cam, which is not a real big social media guy, but he's a hell of a player. Zion is huge on social media, you know what I mean? But it's just what it is. It's a product. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want it. I don't know if it's true or not, but in my heart, I swear they would have rather seen AOT play Why Not instead of us, because of the big names that's in it. The big names. When we beat them, the whole gym probably was in shock. Even though we had hell of players. Like, we had Mark at the spy. We had a 7-1 that could play. You know what I'm saying?
That was the lob to Mark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when Boo was hype as hell.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's me running across the screen right before Boo. I'm running across the screen in all black or black and gray. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. AOT had 2 real big names that's real huge. And you know, this social media world and the way things work, that's really big. And it's big for, like, promoting and all that. Even though Boo was a big name, a big household name, but
social media wise, like,
come on, man.
These kids got brands. They don't understand.
They got it.
Some of them understand it, that they got their brand, but
yes.
I understand what you're saying.
300,000 followers, you know what I'm saying? These kids,
some of them got millions. It's crazy.
Yes. Zion got 300K. You know what I'm saying? LeBron's son got, like, on his live, he went on live yesterday, right? I typed in on his live for a half a second. That joint went from 115 people to, like, 30,000 people in, like, 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Green and them boys got 1 million followers on Instagram and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They went to Slam. Slam has a big event at the end of the summer. You know, Cam went and played in the joint. Cam in that joint, Zion, Sharif Cooper.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that joint was crazy. Like, it's just part of it. Like, it's a show. Like, if you've never been to an EYBL event, I don't care what nobody say, like, nobody can put on that type of show and have the product on the floor at the same time. The theatrics that the EYBL puts together is crazy. The theatrics are nuts, dog. And then everybody last year we played Bradley Bill Elite in Dallas. Dog. So it's a great game going back and forth. So Larry Hughes' son is on the team. You know what I'm saying? So he's at the game. NBA player, NBA star, whatever. He played. He's from out St. Louis. Next thing you know, here come Bradley Bill himself, Jahidi White, Jason Tatum. All this is at a 15U game. And then I'm get back to the hotel. I'm mad as shit at Boo and I'm like, yo, why y'all want that game? We in there coaching against 4 NBA dudes. They into it, on the ground, clapping, going nuts. His wife going crazy. Like, yo, the theatrics to it, to go along with the, you know what I'm saying, with the product that's on the floor is, like, second to none. You know what I mean?
The gym was in the middle of a mall.
Yes, the gym was in the mall.
In the middle of the mall.
In the middle of the mall.
That's
in
crazy.
Dallas, Texas. No bull. It's a whole lot to it. Like, you know, a lot of people we have sneaker wars all the time. Me and my man from Loaded that I was talking to the other day, we were just talking about it. Like, sneaker wars and going through it and this and that. But I don't care. I don't care what nobody say. Yo, from LeBron James and Kevin Durant alone, yo, that's like over $1 billion in sales. Yo.
Yeah.
Nobody from no other company can do that.
I mean,
nobody can do that.
You had the interview with the guys from the Under Armour with Philly Pride, and we are one. And everything they said in the interview, I believe, is true.
Yeah, they was on with it.
Like the the way they put the event together, no other company can compete. And this came from 2 Under Armour guys. But as far as like the actual basketball itself, it's the same. Like they got talented kids just as well as we do. Now we probably have more, but them kids over there can play too. So just because you're not playing on a Nike team don't mean you can't play. Yeah. It's just that the way Nike put it together is different. It's way different than anybody else, and it's the money that they put into it.
Yeah, you can't compete with the theatrics of an EYBL session, yo. Even when it's not a live period. Dallas wasn't live. This weekend in Sacramento wasn't going to be a live period when the college schools come out. Dallas was still popping. You would have thought it was a live period. You know what I'm saying? The gym is jam-packed. You know, the Drake, everything hanging down off of the ceiling with the pictures. They got the guys in the back. It's like an NBA-type style when they're cooling off after the games and what they go through, full-fledged massages. And, you know, it's on a totally different level, like what they do and how they take care of pretty much the product. You know what I mean? Like, part of my thing that I was putting together this year was going to be about branding. You know what I mean? Like, you're a product. Like, it's bad. You're a student athlete, but at the end of the day, you still got to look at yourself as your small business. You got to take care of yourself, take care of your body. You know what I mean? You got to take care of your grades first and foremost. You got to not be crazy on social media. I've had coaches that I've talked to this week tell me, like, Coach, man, his social media, he's crazy on social media. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that mixtape you sent to me had, like, crazy cursing on it.
Who's the dude from last week that was in our group call? He was
which one? Last week?
The guy who was telling us about the college coach. They set up a fake account on Instagram.
Oh my God.
DM the dude they recruit and to see how he would act towards the shorty. And
towards a girl.
Yeah, he was DMing crazy shit out of his mouth, so they stopped recruiting him.
They stopped recruiting him. Like, dog, we do virtual meetings. We do virtual meetings every Sunday with our guys, right? With our 17 crew. So we have special guests up there. I ain't gonna put out all the secret sauce, but we have special guests up there, and they're really like special guests. I tweet them out and thank them over Twitter. You know what I mean? But some people might not know their name unless you're really in the game or whatever. Yo, they tell us they hire. We've been having like some people that's next level past college on the calls with us. They hire private investigators, you know what I'm saying, to tap into kids and to tap into your family, to tap into your life outside of basketball, to see how you act, to see how you handle adversity. You know, man, we just had a guy on our conference call, John Stovall. He's one of Nike grassroots, Nike grassroots guy that helps out, that does a lot of ranking, power rankings with players and kids. He told us and told our guys, don't worry about the rankings, just worry about getting better. You know what I mean? He said he tries not to rank a kid and, you know, and give him bad rankings because of like what he heard about attitude-wise, especially if you only seen him once or twice. But it does, you know, it does play a part into it, all of it. You might miss out on things because some people might not like you. You know, it's weird like that, yo. Like, it's like a big fraternity with the basketball world. Like, you may be snubbed over stuff because of stupid reasons that ain't got nothing to do with basketball. You know what I mean? So you just gotta really take care of yourself, yo. Take care of your body. First school and then take care of your body. And then if you can hoop, it'll all come in, it'll all work out for you. Don't chase the early offers and all that. By the time it's time to sign the paper, if you ain't improved, they ain't gonna be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta keep working. I just say you just gotta keep putting the work in.
Well, I appreciate y'all coming on the show, man.
Yeah.
I had somebody from the Boo organization in season 1.
Yeah, yo, I was trying to wait till you was able to go back you know what I'm saying, when you was having people come over. I was like, I want to go over and have the whole feel. I want to be face to face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially after everybody was after you had a couple of people on, and then I was like, oh man, some of these comments is pissing me off. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna lie. Some of this, actually, I watched your joint. Like, my YouTube said it got a picture of the Boo Williams organization, our logo on it. That's my YouTube page. I watch. Like, I'm a subscriber. I watch the vids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watch. I pay attention to everything. Yeah, for sure. I pay attention. I'm tapped in. I'm in tune to everything that happens basketball-wise in the town, for sure.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man. I guess when basketball come back in, I have to come holler at y'all.
Yeah. We got you in the Sports Plus. I got you. No pay day day. No pay day day. I'm gonna put that on a Nike T-shirt for you.